Hello, this is Professor Nelson with the Jewelry Design Department at FIT. Another Rhino tutorial here this morning. This time I'm going to be doing a emerald cut faceted stone. Actually, no reason not to save that stone. Give me one moment. Now, and actually, I prefer that to be this year. Okay. Alright, so, sorry for the delay. Drawing an emerald cut, we have to do the top view first. It's just going to be a rectangle from center. Going to do a 6x8, so I want 8, 6. I want to cut the corners. So several ways you can go about doing this. I'm going to do a curve from center both sides, and then I'm just going to offset this both sides. Give myself what I feel is an adequate cut, and mirror. Okay, that's one way to determine a cut corner, and it's as good as any. I could have also used fillet curve to trim these. Either would be fine. Join those together. Get rid of that curve. The usual stone format, we're going to do a scaling 0.53 to get our table. It's going to be the wrong shape, but it's a good guideline to use for our offset curve, which we will use to kind of split the difference and create a nice table line. It's important that we do have cut corners still. If you get to the point where you don't have cut corners, you need to go back and redraw that girdle. But this is fine. Okay. You need to draw a guideline. Mid to mid. We need to divide this line in thirds. And we need to offset the girdle. Through point. Point snap. Through point. Point snap. Okay. So there we have the drawing of the top view of our stone. We need to get our elevations. They will be standard diamond elevations, which means we'll use the diameter of the girdle. The stone has no diameter, but the narrow dimension of the girdle, which is 6 millimeters. So, sorry, that's from the previous project. So, I'm going to draw my depth guidelines. Draw a circle of 6 millimeters to represent the girdle, and then a scale with copy option, 0.431% for the pavilion, 0.162% for the crown. Can delete that girdle reference now and move these into position. Pavilion depth from quad to 0, crown height from quad to 0. I'm going to put a point at the bottom of the pavilion depth, and then I can delete that circle. I want to move these lines over to the side. I want a copy of them. So transform, copy, 0, use grid snap. Just so I don't have to have as complicated a drawing here. Going to move the table into position, go into front view, do my project on my object snaps. Going to go to mid and quad. Enter, grab the midpoint here, quad there. I could have just used 0 to quad since I knew that was flat on the C-plane as well. That would be fine. Okay, now your emerald cuts have a long culet. If there is a precise proportion that needs to be, I'll be honest with you and tell you I don't know what it is. But do a straight line both sides. And it's usually, I would say it usually makes up about 2/3 of the table. Something like that is reasonable. Okay. So I'm going to surface this. The challenge with surfacing an emerald cut is that you need 3 distinct planes. And that is not an easy thing to get. The way I'm going to do it is I am going to do a circle. And do my front right C-plane, sorry. Going to do a circle right through here. Going to do a circle 3 points. Mid, and the third point's wherever I want it to be. I want a slight dome here. It's by eye. I want to be aware of this angle coming off the bottom. I don't want it to get too steep, too straight up and down. So it's not much of an angle of a dome, about like that. I'm going to use these 2 curves to trim it off. Going to divide it in 3. Okay, and then I'm going to look at that. I think that that is too straight, so I'm going to do it again. With a shallower dome. Trim this off. Divide. Yes, that's nice. I like that. Okay. I need to do 2 things. I need to offset this. Well, I'm actually going to offset the girdle. I need to offset it to intersect this point, but I also need it to come up into this elevation. And that's not going to be easy to do. In theory. In practice, it's not hard at all. I'm going to do an offset curve. And I'll do both of them. This point and this point. And now I need to get a C-plane at those elevations, which is easy to do. Leaving it in top C-plane, circle center radius, set a C-plane to object. Actually, I'll do 2. I'll do my 2 circles to keep things clearer. Circle center radius. So I have my 2 circles. And now I'm going to set C-plane to object. Set C-plane to object. I'm going to project this curve to C-plane. C enter, Y enter. Going to set C-plane to this object. Project to C-plane. And that will give me what I need. Okay. I'm going to do the same process for the pavilion. Circle 3 points. point to point in this case. And I also want this to be a very shallow dome. Trim. And I am going to divide this into thirds. And it will be the same procedure. I will offset my curve through point, and make my circles, and set my C-plane. Project my curve. Set my C-plane. Project my curve. And I have what I need. Okay. I'm going to have to pause this at this point, and I will hopefully be able to pick this up later. Thanks for watching.